What is up, everybody? Today's video, we're going to be talking about, as you see by the title, what do you do? What do you do when you feel like stuck? Now, I know you're probably watching. I know some of my viewers probably watch, like Alex Becker. I know some of my viewers probably watch Graham Stephan, Bia Heza, those people. And by watching those people, you're probably like, Blade, these guys don't stop working. How do you do that? Like, eventually you got to stop, or eventually you kind of run out of juice, not necessarily motivation, but you run out of things to do. And, or you just feel like you might become overwhelmed, or maybe, I don't know, something just happens that you start working throughout the day, 3 o'clock comes, and then you're like, what do I do next? I feel like I did everything. But you know that there's a lot more you can do, but instead your brain's like, what do I do? Now this happens actually to me. And I know most of you guys probably think of me as like one of those guys that doesn't stop working. And I really don't, to be honest. But every now and then you get that little spike, all right, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, I don't know, where you're standing in front of you, sitting in front of your computer, and you're like, what do I do next? I feel like I'm at a standstill. I feel like I'm at a loss. I don't want people to outwork me. What do I do next? Blade, what do I do? And now, yeah, this happens to everybody. Trust me, this happens to everybody. So you might go back, watch a Netflix video, might go watch YouTube, and just feel bad about doing that. But the thing is, that's not always the worst case. It's not always the worst thing. Because if you're anything like me, and let me just tell you from experience that I'm the type to work 12 hours a day and forget that I have to pee. And I'm in the seat holding my crotch, like, I gotta pee, but I'm gonna get this last type of things out. I wanna get this last thing. I just wanna do this real quick, and I'll pee after, or something like that. Maybe that's just a me thing. But what I'm trying to say is, every entrepreneur, every Gary V, all those guys are like, you just gotta work, 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 work. And every now and then you feel stuck, and you don't know what to do. And you get scared that you're slacking, and you feel worse about yourself. Let me be the one to tell you, as a 22-year kid, that who knows, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But chances are you're watching this video because you respect me for something. So what I'm trying to say is, you can't go 100% 25/8. You lose it. Okay, you will absolutely lose it. And I always try to. I always try to outwork everybody. I always try to work, 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 work. But like I said, sometimes you hit a wall and you don't know what to do next. You know what the next step is. Long story short, the point of this video is, what do I do next? So let's talk about this. What do I do next? First thing that I typically try to do is, when I feel like I don't know what to do next, I feel like I already did everything, but I feel like I can keep on working and keep on going because everybody else is. What I try to do, I try to take a break. I try to either go to the gym, go on a run, eat some food, actually take my piss. Main thing is, I try to do something that's productive, that gets my mind off of it. That might even be watching a YouTube video sometimes. At night, I do watch YouTube videos. A lot of educational, sometimes funny stuff. But just something just to get my mind off of it. Because it's crazy how I find how this works. It's a lot of times, I mean, if you're an entrepreneur watching this, or whatever you are, you're gonna run into problems in your business. Something's gonna come up where you don't know what to answer, you don't know what to do. And the worst thing is, the absolute worst thing, coming from a 22-year-old kid that you watch, is that the worst thing to do is to stress over it. The best thing to do is take a step back, maybe do something else, maybe go work out, take a nap, whatever it is, but just take a breather. And one of the hardest things that I face personally, that you might face this as well, but one of the biggest things that I face is just feeling proud of what I've accomplished so far. And I'm sure a lot of you guys could feel the same way, mainly because it's so easy to compare ourselves to somebody that's more successful than you. Pull up your phone, go on Instagram. First thing you see, dude smoking weed with a bunch of bitches, Dan Bazarian. You might see a dude with a bunch of beautiful cars, daily German exotics. You might see dude making a shit ton of money and traveling. You might see a couple dudes drinking and partying all day. Nelk boys. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it's very, very easy to compare yourself to others. But if you truly believe in outworking yourself, everybody, if you truly believe in outworking other competitors, and like I said, I struggle with this too. If you truly believe in outworking everybody, you need to be so focused on what you do that everybody else doesn't matter. I know you're saying, Blade, that's so hard to do. I love going on my iPhone and looking at big booty bitches. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like doing that too. But I personally, I deleted all that from my Instagram. You know, I have like 4,000 followers. I'm only following people that I actually like talking to. One of the biggest things that actually helped me on my Instagram. I mean, I don't really care how many followers I have on my Instagram. I love YouTube. That's my thing. But what I'm trying to say is one of the biggest things on my Instagram. But I used to be the same thing. I used to I would be working, then I want to get like instant dopamine thing, you know. And I go on my phone and I scroll through it, like some photos. One big thing that actually helped me was I was completely taking that away, and I unfollowed a whole bunch of people, and I only just have the people I talk to. Now I literally took out all my high school friends, all my college friends, all my even middle school friends. Really, I like still talk to like 4 or 5 of my middle school friends, guys that are in D1s. Those guys I keep around, but I actually still talk to them, you know. But all those girls that I don't talk to anymore, gone. Whatever, all of those things that can just get you to procrastinate, that can want you to compare yourself to others, those models, those whatever, that have you comparing yourself to somebody else and make you feel inferior, all gone. It's one of the things that helped me. The second biggest thing, like I said, that really helped me is taking a breather. And it's crazy, like I said, it's crazy. It's really, truly crazy how it works. Because you'll find that if you have a problem, let me try to give you an example. I had a problem. What was the biggest problem I solved? The last biggest problem I solved was actually my credit repair marketing field. And for the life of me, I wrote out this new product, the 2-week challenge. And I'm sure you guys know about it. It's pretty much tells you about the fundamentals of organic marketing. And I wrote this out and I was wondering, Blade, why does anyone want this? Why does anyone want to buy this? What's going on? What's up with this? And then I was stressing over all day. I was trying to get people to buy, making YouTube videos and stuff like that for like a week straight. And I was stressing. I was posting on my Facebook group and all. And I was like, people used to buy the client acquisition assets before. The assets were pretty much give everything to the person to be able to actually run ads, like the actual ads, the copy, the targeting, the blah, blah, whatever. We gave them all that. People were buying that up. People love that. People love that fact that I was just giving my assets out so they can run the ads themselves and a little bit of training guide. People love that. But I couldn't get people to get this 2-week challenge. So I sleep on it. I rely on like whatever. I'll figure it out later. So I took a weekend. I took Saturday off. I wanted to get some ice cream and actually finally I took a day to kind of like relax a little bit. Well, not really relaxing, I still do work, so I can't say that. But realistically, I did a little work and I kind of just chilled out. And then the next day, I woke up and I thought to myself, you know how I always talk about how your offer needs to be correct and on point? I thought to myself, like, maybe people just don't want it. So then I started running this test and I tested between the client acquisition assets and the 2E challenge. I have right now, I still have it going. I have 2 landing pages that kind of look very similar, but they're offering 2 different things: client acquisition assets and the 2E challenge. And I'm running this test. I've been running for the last week and a half, trying to figure out why people aren't buying the 2E challenge. Long story short, what I've been figuring out is people aren't interested in that. Everybody's all hyped about Facebook ads right now. People are so hyped about Facebook ads, Facebook ads. Like, how do you build a credit repair business? Facebook ads. How do you build a credit? Start your credit repair business. How do you scale your credit repair business? Facebook ads, Facebook ads, Facebook ads. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is that by kind of like pushing back, give myself some time to chill out, de-stress. I went like mountain biking that day and sleep on it allowed me to solve my problem. Allowed me to not necessarily solve it, but think of a way to solve the problem, which was running that test. And I know it's probably not the best example. I probably can think of some better ones. Literally, as soon as I finish this video, I'm hard to think of a better example. But what I'm trying to say is what I found to really work, when you run into a problem, when you run into a glitch, whenever you run into, I don't know, whatever it is really to just take a step back, chill out for a second, and figure it out. You figure it out in the morning. Because the way the brain works, the way the brain is hardwired, and I love this. I absolutely love this. I think it's like freaking God performing miracles. Is that if you go to sleep with a problem that you want solved, with a question that you want answered, that entire night, your brain is thinking about that question, that problem, how to solve it the entire night. Like whether you think of it or not, whether you're dreaming about big booty bitches or you're dreaming about dinosaurs, your brain is thinking about how to solve that. And typically, well, actually, what sometimes happens to me in the middle of the night, I wake up, I'm like, oh, how did I think of that? Or in the morning, you might wake up and like, oh, Blade was right. I figured it out. When I first started out my marketing actually in college, I remember having like $2 in my bank account. I think it was like 83 cents actually. I saw the picture. I just gotta scroll down my phone, so I don't want to look at it right now. But I remember I had 83 cents in my bank account. An MBT bank account. MBT, by the way, is the worst bank ever. Freaking so you can't take any money out. They keep your money in there. Like, it's so hard to get money out. So I dropped it. But what I'm trying to say is when I don't know how old I was, but I was in college at 83 cents. And the next day I needed like 250 or like $300 to be able to pay for ClickFunnels so that I can keep my business going. No idea how to do it. I had no idea. And I had like 2 or 3 days to be able to make $300 while in college to be able to pay for ClickFunnels. Oh no, I had ClickFunnels and I rent. So it's $500 rent, I think, 500 or $600. Then the software is like $300. Let's say 5, 6, 7, 8, $800. I owed $800 in like 3 or 4 days. And I was stressing about it the first day, especially when I figured that out. I was like, my ClickFunnels thing is about to expire this month. This is like, I don't want to go into too detail about the story, but my software got hacked, and for an entire like half a year, I wasn't able to make like any sales on it, mostly because I couldn't get back into the software. And now we're finally coming back on. I'm finally so happy about that. But the problem was during that time, I was still paying for ClickFunnels, still paying my developers to completely redo it because I wasn't able to get back in. Literally, this dude that I was paying very well. For a Pakistan guy, paying him $75 an hour, I think that's pretty good. And this dude just completely leaves, and the entire back end, like nobody can get access to it. I went through like 20 people, paying them all to try to figure out how to get into it. To be able to see the coding. Eventually, we just redid everything. But what I'm trying to say is, $800 I owed in like 2 or 3 days, and I knew I had to do it. I think the day was like a Friday. That Friday morning, I woke up and I remember being stressed as shit because I looked at my Wells Fargo bank account at 83 cents in my bank account. Luckily, that night I had a date and I was so slick about it because I didn't have any money to spend. So this girl named Lisa, and I didn't have any money to spend and I don't know what to do. So that night I tried to like pay attention to her so I know how to pay attention to my bank account, but that day I was so slick and I invited her over and we had food at my place and I made some food like with freaking Cheetos and mac and cheese. It's probably disgusting, to be honest. No, that's pretty good. And like burritos. So it was Cheetos, mac and cheese, burritos, and a little bit of leftover like chicken ass. Whatever, besides the point. I'm so proud of myself that I made that. But besides the point. Because I was able to kind of de-stress, think about something else, and not consistently worry about that all day, I know for a fact if I thought about that problem the entire day, I would have never been able to solve it, figure out how to do it. But because I was able to invite a girl over, chill out, have a little fun, and overall just de-stress and take that out of my mind for a little bit, that very next day, and I told Lisa about it, she knew. She didn't know I had 83 cents in my bank account, but she knew I owed $800 next day, so I was stressing about it. I told her, like, listen, I'm stressing out a little, but just come over anyway. I need to get this off my mind. So I told her. So she knew what's happening. That night, went to sleep, woke up, and I remember going that day. I woke up, and I remember one of my buddies. His name was Nick. He was looking to sell his truck because he just bought like a new one, brand new like Chevy or whatever. I don't know what they're called. A new Chevy 1500, one of those big white trucks. And he had this old truck that was rusted out. And I remembered that one of my contractors previously, who was working out of this like shitty van that was rusting, that would next year would definitely not pass inspection because literally the floorboards were completely rusting out. If you touched it, if you touched the side of the van, like all the rust would just dribble out. I don't know if dribble is the right word, but just work with me here. I'm trying to paint the picture here. What I'm trying to say is this dude Nick had this truck. It wasn't the best truck, but he's wanted to sell it. He's got another one. And this other dude, one of my workers, Carlos, I used his name, Carlos, he needed another van or truck because his wasn't about to pass inspection. I remember that all that night. I wasn't even thinking about it. I woke up and I was like, bam, I remember that. I can link these people up. I don't know why I'm whispering, but I knew I can link these people up. So that day, I called up my buddy and I was like, yo, heard you got a new truck. I saw it on Instagram. What'd you do with that last one, the Dodge or whatever you had? What are you doing with the last one? I was like, yeah, I'm trying to find a seller. I can't find one. I was like, have you posted it? I was like, nah. I was just kind of gonna maybe use his work truck. Like, bro, what if I can sell it today? Like, no way. How much you selling for? I asked him. He said like $2,000. I was like, I just need $2,000 just to cover my deposit of the truck. $2,000. So anything I sell that's above $2,000, can I keep? Oh yeah, sure, whatever. I was like, bet. Hung up on him. Called up Carlos. I was like, bro, I got a truck for you. All right. It's $3,000 cash. I wasn't Wilkes, by the way. This is my community. It's about an hour and a half away. So the 2 people left. And I was like, Carlos, you check out today? He's like, yeah, sure. I linked those 2 people up. and we ended up selling it for like 29 or 3 grand, whatever. And then I ended up making literally exactly enough, like $800, maybe plus an additional $50 on top. Moral of the story is that the first example was probably a bad example. The second example is a really good one. I knew some good story out of it. What I'm trying to say is that by kind of chilling out for a second and not thinking about it, go to the gym, hang out with a girl. I mean, right now, I'm not dating right now, right? I want to be too focused on this. I don't want to do that. What I'm trying to say is by being able to like push back, by being able to chill out, by being able to de-stress, by this is why I always so recommend that you have to have some sort of hobby that de-stresses you. And for most people, that's like working out, boxing, kickboxing, fighting, who knows? Maybe going into the bleachers and having a little fight club. I probably shouldn't be talking about that. That's number one rule. What I'm trying to say is it helps. It really, really does help, especially as an entrepreneur, where an entrepreneur's journey is literally like a freaking graph going up and down. It's like a heartbeat monitor. You know, in the movies where they have those, like, I don't know what they're called, the graphs that like make graphs go up and down, up and down. That's like an entrepreneur's journey, and it slowly goes up. But I'm trying to say that is literally how it's gonna be. You can trust me, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. But what I'm trying to say is it's sometimes gonna get bad. And you need to have a way to de-stress. You're gonna run into problems. You need to have a way to de-stress no matter what happens. You need to have a way to de-stress. You need to have those times to yourself. You need to have time to yourself, like jerk off. I'm joking. You need to have time to yourself to like go to the gym, chill out, and not think about the problem so that you can come back to it with a fresh mind. And you'll be surprised that what I'm telling you right now actually does work because it works for me every time. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I'm a very handsome, humble, and stunning young man. I'm trying to say is seriously, it helps a lot when you're able to push back sometimes, chill out, de-stress, and then come back to it in the morning. So that's my rant today. Guys, I hope that helped because it helps me. And do you have any questions, comments, concerns? Let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, come on, you know what to do. You already know by now. Come on, you know. Subscribe because that's only going to help the algorithm out. I'll see you guys with that. Peace out.